Okay, today we're going to install a Greddy RS BOV on a 2005 Subaru WRX. The tools that you will need for this job are a 12mm socket and perhaps an extension, depending on how well you can get torqued down on the bolts here. We have two bolts here. This is a 12, it's also a 12. Both of these bolts will have to be removed, as well as this will have to be disconnected. Okay, give me 1 second. We're going to peel this off real fast. I'm going to remove these two bolts here and lift this BOV up, and I'll show you the workings on the underside. Right back. Okay, as you can see, the two bolts have been removed here. The vacuum line has been removed here. And on the underside of your BOV, there is a small clamp there. That clamp must be removed in order to completely remove the stock blow-off valve. And give me just 1 second, we'll peel that off, and I'll come right back to show you the machined plug that has to go inside that return line. Alright, be right back. Okay, as you can see here, the open return valve, this is probably going to be the toughest part. I'm definitely going to need both hands to do this. But this machine plug is available online. I actually had this one custom cut by a machinist in my town, and it will slide down inside there and be held together with that clamp so as not to come loose. After pulling this up a little bit, you should be able to get a tight fitment inside of there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick this in as the next step. Pause for a second, and when I come back, I will show you exactly what has to happen on the intercooler here in order to adapter flange for the Greddy RS type blow-off valve. Alright, be right back. As you see, the slug has been placed into the return pipe here. The clamp that I had on it, right here, had busted. There's two locking clips that are on either side of this prong that, when closed in position, will hold it snap so you can slide it over the pipe. Those have broken, so I used a utility grade zip tie to hold this on. Now, I wouldn't recommend that ordinarily. The slug that I have is slightly longer than the typical one that you find on the internet, plus it has a beveled flange at the top that prevents it from just sliding into the return tube, so I'm not really worried about it sucking in or anything of that nature. The gasket here is in fairly good condition. I'm going to go ahead and reuse that. The reason that I had the hammer down here is to kind of give me a little angle on this pipe so I could push that down in there, because otherwise it's a little bit of a pain. But anyway, what we've got here is a flange adapter that goes from a Greddy RS type to Subaru, because what you're looking at here is the bottom of this will not, bone stock, fit to there. There's just no way to place it. It wouldn't actually function. So what you have to have is an adapter flange, available online at many retailers. Typically they're 45 to 50 bucks. But what happens is this flange will go in place like so. Okay, and then on the other side of that flange, you see we have two places here, here, and here, that the Greddy will attach to. So if you give me just a second, I'm going to go ahead and attach this flange to this gasket seal here and tighten it up on either side, here and here. And then when I come back, I'll go ahead and place the Greddy, and we'll tighten it down, and I'll show you how to set this thing up and get it adjusted so there's no surge. I'll be right back. Alright, as you see here, I've attached the adapter flange using the stock bolts from the stock intercooler. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is there's a placement O-ring here. This O-ring will fit snugly in place here. And you see the two screw holes located here and here. The bolts that came with my adapter flange kit would probably work, but I would feel a lot safer about going ahead and using the ones that are situated with the Greddy, which will be these. They're a little bit longer. They're actually Allen head bolts, so I feel better about that as well. If you want, you can use a washer or something, space in between, you know, and just get them good and snug. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten that down, and when I come back, we'll do a little bit of adjustment on the spring so that we can get this thing running good. Alright? Alright, as you can see, the blow-off valve is now fully attached here and here. It is quite a snug fitment. I mean extremely snug. But for aesthetic purposes, I was not able to get this piece on. I can possibly rotate it this opposite direction so that it's here, but I need more hose to attach to bring it through this way and connect it on this side. But at any rate, this just aesthetics. It does not affect the way it functions or operates. But in order to make the standard hose attach here, we have to get an adapter. In this case, mine is it's going to be a 1/4 to 3/16. You can find these at O'Reilly's, AutoZone, anywhere. What it does is it just adapt fitments from largest to a smaller hose that will fit over this 3/16 inch. And once you take that fitment of hose, you can cut it to size here. Just place it one end on the adapter, the other end on there, plug it in as so, and you really should be in business. Shouldn't have any problems out of this thing. Once I get this thing snugged down and tightened out, I'm going to go ahead and crank it, see what it sounds like, kind of see where we're at on adjusting the spring.